Eric, ow. I live in Huntsville, Alabama. Well, I was a big fan of MMA growing up and was really into it back in the Pride days and all that. But I was working full-time in college and going to school full-time, so never had the time to train until I graduated. And then it's the first place I live that has a decent, clean gym. I'm gonna go there. I always told myself I would try it one day, and then I went in at a gym and did a little trial and signed up that day instead of doing the trial. I wanted to not be completely terrible. I went into it expecting to be really, really bad, and that was about what happened. But my first goal was to get my blue belt, and I didn't even think I would ever get my purple belt or anything like that. I was just like, man, one day if I can not be a white belt and not be really, really bad, that'd be great.
What's your favorite part?
Permanently evolving. And you're always humbled. No matter how good you think you are, there's always someone better, and there's always something you can learn. So a little over 2 years, right around 2 years ago, I had a torn labrum before I started training jiu-jitsu. It got to a point where I absolutely had to have shoulder surgery. One of the things that I've learned about the sport and in time has been that you can train around any injury, no matter what you think is the limitation. So after my shoulder surgery, when it was safe-ish for me to return, I started rolling with one arm in a large t-shirt and just tucked in. And then 6 months ago now, I had ACL surgery. It was full tears, full ACL reconstruction, and I came back at around the 4-month mark, tied my legs together, and I was rolling that way. So there's always a way to train, no matter if you're injured or recovering. You just have to be smart about it. Well, my biggest development, the biggest uptick, was after the shoulder surgery, and really the knee now. But somewhere along the way, I realized that the movement patterns that I was so used to doing when I had two arms, and all the submissions that I could hunt for when I had two arms, were completely different when you have one. And there's only certain things you can finish, but it makes you evolve and makes you learn new things. The same has gone for the knees. Rolling without any use of my legs has been pretty interesting. I've learned a lot from it defensively and offensively, even strange things that I've hit. Shout out to Pete. Great timing, people who have come in and actually given me some advice and some pointers on what I can and can't do has actually helped me grow tremendously during that time. I think in a lot of ways it's very cliche when people talk about how jiu-jitsu changes lives, because it's such a difficult endeavor, and you will inevitably have, whether or not there are small injuries or large injuries, and it's just hard to focus on all the outside nuances of the world when someone's trying to break your arms off or trying to put you to sleep. It does force you to be in the present. I think that it's such a difficult task, especially when you're new and god awful and you're just coming here to get tapped and convincing yourself to come back and back and back to get better, that it is kind of a lesson for life, in that it puts a lot of different things in perspective and teaches you patience, whether it's in your personal life of just making you more patient with your spouse, or at work, some of the more trivial things that might bother other people or might have even bothered me prior to me training consistently, they just kind of roll off your back. I think it's one of the best martial arts to train if you're interested in learning some sort of self-defense. It's based on leverage and technique, and a smaller person with those two things being able to overcome and get the better of someone larger. I think it's very practical of an art. And even if you're not necessarily doing it from a self-defense perspective, I think the effects it can have on you in your personal development, as a lot of people have said, are tremendous, and it's a fun way to get in shape instead of